about to enter my last year as a professor, and so I thought I would read Typical First Year Professor. I go to school for a very long time and get some degrees and finally move to a very small town in the middle of a cornfield. Woohoo! That's what's up! I leave someone behind. I tell myself I have worked so hard I can't choose a man over a career. I want to choose the man over the career. I rent an apartment, the nicest place I have ever lived as an adult. I have a guest bathroom. I don't save lives, but I try not to ruin them. This is the dream, everyone says. A good job, tenure track. I have an office I don't have to share with 2 or 4 people. My name is on the engraved panel just outside my door, and my name is spelled correctly with one N. I have my own printer. The luxury of this cannot be overstated. I randomly print out a document and sigh happily as the printer spits it out warm. I have a phone with an extension, and when people call the number, they are often looking for me. There are a lot of shelves, but I like my books at home because I actually read them. In every movie I've ever seen about professors, though, there are books. I quickly unpack 3 boxes, detritus I accumulated in grad school, sad drawer trash, books I'll never open again, but I am a professor now. I must have books on display in my office. It's an unspoken rule. I put a dry erase board on my door because old habits die hard. Every few weeks I ask a new question. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite musical? What do you want for Christmas? Currently, what is your favorite cocktail? Best answer, 3. The department's administrative assistant gives me the rundown on important things. Mailbox, office supplies, photocopy code. I forget the code weekly. She is friendly, patient, kind, but if you cross her, there will be trouble. I never, ever cross her. There is a mind-numbing orientation that begins with students playing acoustic guitar. A threatening sing-along vibe fills the room. The student is not a chanteur. Most of the audience cringes visibly. I hide in the very last row. For the next 2 days, I gather knowledge I will never use. It's math all over again. I'll be teaching 3 classes, 2 of which I've not quite taught before. It turns out when you say you can do something, people believe you. 10 minutes before my first class, I run to the bathroom and vomit. I'm afraid of public speaking, which makes teaching kind of complicated. When I walk into the classroom, the students stare at me like I'm in charge. They wait for me to say something. I stare back and wait for them to do something. It's a silent power struggle. Finally, I tell them to do things and they do these things. I realize I am, in fact, in charge. Teaching 3 classes requires serious memorization when it comes to student names. They do tend to blur. It will take nearly 3 weeks for me to remember Ashley A and Ashley M and Matt and Mark and so on. I rely heavily on pointing. I color code the students. You in the green shirt. No, you in the orange hat. I get my first paycheck. We are paid once a month, which requires the kind of budgeting I am incapable of. Life is very unpleasant after the 23rd or so. I've been a graduate student for so long that it's hard to fathom that one check can have 4 numbers before the decimal. Students don't know what to make of me. I wear jeans and Converse. I have tattoos up and down my arms. I am tall. I am not petite. I am the child of immigrants. Many of my students have never had a black teacher before, and I can't help them with that. When I was a student, listening to a boring professor drone endlessly, I usually thought, I will never be that teacher. One day I'm delivering a lecture and realize in that moment, oh my God, I am that teacher. I stare out at my students, most of them not taking notes, all of them giving me that soul-crushing, dead-eyed stare that tells me, I wish I were anywhere but here, and I think, I wish I were. I talk faster and faster to put us all out of our misery. I become incoherent. Their dead-eyed stares haunt me for the rest of the day, and then much longer. One day I'm walking down the hall and I hear a young woman saying, Dr. Gay, over and over, and I think, God, that Dr. Gay is fucking rude. I turn around to say something before I realize, oh right, she's talking to me. I worry some of my students don't own any clothes with zippers or buttons or other methods of closure and fastening. I see a lot of words faded and stretched across asses like juicy or pink, but the clothes aren't pink. I see bra straps, pajama pants, often ill-fitting. In the winter, when there is snow and ice outside, boys come to class in basketball shorts and flip-flops. I worry about their feet and their corduroy white toes. Helicopter parents email me for information about their children. How's my son doing? Is my daughter attending class? I encourage them to open lines of communication with their children. I politely tell them there are laws preventing such communication without their child's written consent. A child never ever consents. Sometimes during class, I catch students staring at their phones beneath their desks like they're in a cone of invisibility. That's funny as it is irritating. Sometimes I cannot help but say, I do see you. Other times I just take their phones. And sometimes when students are doing group work, I take a look at my own phone, like I'm in a cone of invisibility. I am clearly part of the problem. Toward the middle of the semester, there is a plague on grandmothers. The elder relations of my students begin passing away at an alarming rate. To warn the surviving grandmothers somehow, I want them to live. The excuses the students come up with for absences and homework amuse me and how ludicrous and improbable they are. They think I want to know. They think I need some kind of explanation. They think I don't know they're lying. Sometimes I simply say, I know you're lying. You say it best when you say nothing at all. The first semester ends and I receive my evaluations. Most of the students think I did a decent job. Some think I did a great job, but then there are those who did not. I assign too much work, they say. I expect too much. I don't consider these things faults. A student writes, typical first-year professor on my evaluation. I have no idea what that means. Thank you.